August 19th, 2025, 6:30 p.m. I'd like to call this Finance Committee meeting to order. Roll call. Eric Brown.
Here.
And Tom Barney.
Here.
And I am here, Michael Loth. Item 3, agenda revisions and approval.
Motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Motion by Tom Barney, second by Eric Brown. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 4, approved minutes. Approval of the July 15th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve the July 15th, 2025 minutes.
Second.
Eric Brown with a motion, Tom Barney with a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Item 5, consent review and discuss. We have none. We will approve the August vouchers in the September meeting. Item 6, reports and updates. I believe we have none. Item 7, A, monthly purchase requests exceeding $15,000 and purchasing project bill results. Item 7A1, Kennedy Middle School concrete work. That'll be Chris Reuter this evening.
Thank you. And Ms. Allendorf, please jump in as needed. Last month, we discussed at Buildings and Grounds a $40,000 plus project to replace the concrete in the front of Kennedy, the walkway. As many of you were on building tours, you saw the outdated concrete with, I would say, patchwork at best when it came to filling in areas of cracks and broken concrete area. So Mr. Lord, who's not able to be here this evening, had this in his 5-year capital plan, improvement plan, and we're looking for approval tonight from the Finance Committee to move forward with DeAngelis construction in order to replace that walkway so it's more appealing and safe for our students and visitors.
Okay, I'll take a motion.
Motion to move forward with a positive recommendation to the full board to approve the concrete work at Kennedy Middle School using DeAngelis Construction LLC in an amount not to exceed $41,277.50, funded out of the Fund 41 Capital Improvements budget.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Tom Barney, second by Eric Brown. Any discussion? I don't see any, but I wish Frank was here so I could compliment him on his satellite photo that was included with the material. It kind of threw me off because this might be the first one I've seen where north was up on the sheet. Normally the buildings are, they're sideways, upside down, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, is this really the middle school? It just didn't look right because up is actually north in the material, so it's one for the record books, I guess. All right, no further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Next item is 7A2 Dreamfield Dugouts Replacement. We just had a great discussion on that in Building Committee. I'll take a motion.
Motion to move forward with a positive recommendation to the full board to approve the Dream of Fields dugout replacement project using J.P. Cullen with the time and material amount not to exceed $166,241 funded out of Fund 41 Capital Projects budget.
Second.
Okay, motion by Eric Brown, second by Tom Barney. Any discussion? So I think the way we left it from Building Committee is we will take a look at doing poured walls with 4-foot footings, if that's a possibility, see what the construction costs are. The forms for that go up really fast, and the concrete just gets poured in the forms. I believe if they're 8 feet above grade, it's probably gonna take a pumper truck to pump them. But, you know, it's really quick putting these things up, where CMU construction is a little more, you know, involved. It takes a little more time. So nobody's gonna jump on me for saying CMU.
Yeah, I'm asking, what is that acronym, Mr. Loth?
I had to look it up to be sure. Concrete masonry unit. So those are concrete blocks, and it's kind of what the construction is there now. And they're sagging because that's what concrete blocks do, and that's why basement walls are no longer that type of construction. Most, if not all, construction in the state is now poured concrete walls. It's just the way it's done. So, I think if Frank and maybe Brittany, you guys are willing to just run it past J.P. Cullen, I think, you know, digging the trenches, which will almost be done just by removing the old dugouts. You know, they'll be practically down the 4 feet they would need to put the footings in.
Yep. Oh, there I am.
You're there?
I will reach out to JP Cullen tomorrow, and
Yeah.
I will follow up with an email.
Yeah, if you could let us know, that'd be great. Okay, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
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 That motion carries. And I believe we have one last motion.
Move we adjourn?
Second?
Motion by Tom Barney, second by Eric Brown. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries, and we are adjourned at 6:37.
Are you ready? Great. I'd like to call the Germantown School District Board of Education meeting to order August 19th at 7 p.m. here at the PAC located at the high school. If you're able, please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. Item 1A, official meeting notification, Dr. Reuter.
Thank you, Mr. Ewert. Public notice of all meetings has been given by communication from the superintendent's office to the public, to those news media who have requested such notices, and to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Northwest Now, Express News, West Bend Daily News. Public notice has also been posted in schools throughout the Germantown School District and on our website.
Thank you. Item B, roll call.
Ewert,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Barney's here, Loth.
Here.
Pollock,
Here.
Higginbotham.
Here.
Voyer.
Here.
Item 2, approval of agenda.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Mr. Barney with the motion, Mr. Voyer with the second.
Pollock.
Pollock.
Sorry, Mr. Pollock with the motion, Mr. Voyer with the second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. Item 3, reports, District Administrator update, Dr. Reuter.
Thank you, Mr. Ewert. Thank you to our building leadership teams. This last week, Thursday, we had our teacher teams come to Kennedy Middle School to meet with our principals, as well as teaching and learning to kick off our goals around shared success this year. And you'll see more coming in September as we talk about our strategic goals. But thank you to our leadership teams at each building and their work that's focused on collaboration and professional learning communities this year, but more to come in the coming months. Also, our fall sports season kicked off. As you've probably seen, our football team is out there. They're a week ahead of all of our other fall sports, working out and getting ready for the upcoming season. We have Homestead away to start our season, as well as all our other fall sports are starting this week. Tonight's committee reports, you'll see some updates to buildings and grounds that were part of our building tours, and thank you to this full board and the Buildings and Grounds Committee for doing those tours, seeing the dollars. There's over probably close to $200,000 tonight being invested into our facilities to upgrade that are all appropriated through Fund 41 and our fiscal responsibility, so I thank you for that. And then pre-session kicks off next week. Our teachers and full staff are reporting on Wednesday. We're giving Wednesday and Thursday time for our teachers to work in their classrooms and get prepared. Monday, I invite the entire board to this PAC at 8 a.m. the 25th for our district kickoff around shared success and the work we're going to do moving forward to continue to make this district one of the best in this region. So that's what I got tonight.
Thank you. B, building and community update for Germantown flooding. Dr. Reuter and myself.
Yeah, so we were not fortunate enough to not have water damage, unlike most municipalities in the area had some water damage. We did not have extensive, but I wanted to share tonight with you as a full board what water damage we had here in the district, in our facilities, as well as to the community. So hopefully the floor does not fall out underneath us, but under us, the orchestra pit, we did have some actual flooding. We had up to almost 1.5 to 2 feet of water. We have a separate sub pump system that runs underneath in the orchestra pit that did not activate during the torrential rain down that we had in this community. So unfortunately, that sump pump did not run, and we had standing water below us in this area. The sump pump was reactivated. The water was pumped out. We're currently running fans in that area, and we're looking at restoration. Working with Heather Ellis, our PAC director, there was minimal damage to some items stored down there and some support systems, but we'll be able to replace that and move forward. We also had minimal water damage at Amy Bell as well as County Line. Amy Bell, there was a slight leak in one of the roofs that went in through our boiler room and seeped into our principal's office. Very minimal, able to clean it up very quickly, but again, it was water damage. And the same can be said for County Line. We had some water damage through our roofing over the art room that led to some tile issues that Frank and his team are going to work to replace throughout the school year. So nothing major, but again, like everyone, there was some type of water damage. I want you to be aware of that. Frank will talk more exclusively in September at Buildings and Grounds on proactive and what we're going to do to repair these issues. And Mr. Ewert, I turn it over to you because the community had some extensive issues regarding the flooding and the weather, and you were instrumental with a bridge with the community. So I turn it over to you to talk about how we helped out the community in a time of need.
Okay. It was interesting, with the relationship we've been able to build with the village, the communication was fantastic. I want to thank the village president and his team, the village administrator, the chiefs, fire and law enforcement as well. The amount of communication we had was fantastic. We were asked to provide a safe space for a neighborhood that was potentially going to go under evacuation, and we chose this facility here. Why the PAC for that scenario? We didn't know, A, how many people it would be, and how long they'd be staying with us. So the PAC could offer some entertainment, sheltered space, as well as gym, full cafeteria, and some other amenities for those that may have had to stay here. We were lucky enough, after we got those facilities in place, I was able to visit the command post, meet with the village president, meet with those other leaders I just mentioned, get an assessment of how many we thought would come. And the result of that was, let's get a hold of Right Way and get a bus down to the evacuation site. We were able to facilitate that information for the village. We brought a handful of people here during that evacuation. It wasn't mandatory, but the ones that did want to, they were here. Law enforcement was here and able to find them temporary residence and/or reunite them with family to a safe space. So the level of communication and partnership between the school district and the village was fantastic from our administrators. Dave Smith, the principal here, had stopped everything. We had some of our facility services people here stop everything they were doing. I shouldn't say stop. They continued to pump some water out from here in another area of the building while helping arrange amenities here. So I can't be more proud of their response to that situation. And from there, that's all I really have. It was an interesting time in the village. I can say that probably delayed some other communications that were occurring, because that did take a 16-hour-ish effort from start to finish when we were working through that issue. So from there, we can move on to item C, Village of Germantown Liaison Reports. Mr. Pollack.
Yes, so Park and Rec met back in May. Excuse me, not May, in July. Basically, what we ended up getting was an update from the commander of the Legion of Germantown Area Veterans Memorial, because there's going to be some work done there. And just going to mention, if anybody does have any veterans that they would like to honor, there are spaces available, so just reach out to get your veteran added to the wall. We got an update for Friedenfeld Park. Not only was the sign replaced that was damaged earlier this year, but also we got some update from the Germantown Soccer Club about some of the development of more soccer fields and some other improvements to allow their program to grow, but also improve the park. We did approve a modest activity fee for some of the different things offered via Park and Rec for this fall and winter. We also did get an update regarding the 4th of July parade and festivities. In effect, what we were told was that it was going to be recommended to the village, which I believe they actually have started talking about it now rather than waiting about next year's 4th of July and the planning to go on there and looking for volunteers. And then the last item I have is music at the pavilion over at Fireman's Park. This Thursday, August 24th, from 6 to 9, Bella Kane will be performing for the final Music at the Pavilion concert. So head out to Fireman's Park on Thursday and enjoy some great music.
Fantastic, thank you. Myself, on the Planning Commission, that meeting was scheduled for last Tuesday. During those evacuations, they canceled that meeting, rightfully so, given the efforts of the village administration and their staff being dedicated to the village at that time. So we did not have that meeting, and I'm sure it'll be rescheduled or will occur next month. And then an update for our Economic Development Commission member. Ms. Higginbotham is stepping down from that position, and I believe Mr. Voyer is going to be the one that is considered her replacement. If you haven't heard, in these three positions, this is how we've strengthened our partnership with the village and communication. We continue to do that. That's part of why you're here on a Tuesday night instead of a Monday night. Most of their meetings take place Monday night. By law, they are scheduled in for those Mondays. We have more flexibility, and that's when we made the decision to move to Tuesdays so we can ensure participation and information sharing. With that, Mr. Voyer, you are in a hold pattern with that, I believe? It's-
I have to sign the paperwork, and I have to meet at the village with Jan and Scott.
Okay, so we'll see, hopefully that takes place between now and next month, and we can pick that up right where we left off. Item D. So this is a new item to the agenda here, School Board President Report, that's myself. And I wanted to give some information. Obviously, we have a community out there from your presence here, we understand that. We're giving as much information as we can, as soon as we can provide it. And I understand from the frowns I just saw on some of the faces, you don't believe that to be the case. I'm going to explain a little bit about the process that's at hand here. I think a key note to understand is when it comes to the situation that I think most of you are here for, there are three parties involved. There's this board. We act, right, on behalf of the constituents. We have the administration, who act at the direction of the board, as well as some of their own responsibilities guided by state law. And then we have an employee that has due process rights. And our job here is to make sure that some of those due rights are followed. And we're going to continue to ensure that. Does that mean this current situation expedites quickly? No, it's going to take a little bit longer. So I just have a prepared statement. Usually I don't read off a prepared statement, but I will at this time, just to provide a little bit more of that information. So as indicated in the posted agenda for School Board August 26th meeting, the board will consider the termination of one of the district's administrators that evening. When the district leadership believes an administrator has engaged in misconduct or failure to meet performance expectations, such that termination of employee is warranted, the district superintendent may make a recommendation to the board that the administrator employment contract be terminated. On August 26th, the board will consider such recommendation. In this case, the board is ensuring the administrator's full due process in the form of a pretrial evidentiary hearing, during which the administrator will have the right to legal representation, as well as the right to call witnesses, present evidence or testimony on their own behalf, and to cross-examine district witnesses. The school board will then deliberate to determine if the allegations against the administrator are substantive and whether the termination and the administrator's employment is appropriate. To honor the due process being afforded to the administrator, in this case, the district is limited to the information it can provide at this time, and it would not be appropriate to comment on this matter further until the board has made a final decision based on the evidentiary proceedings at the August 26th hearing. That would be the legal explanation that I can give you. What I can and I've already discussed this a little bit, understand that there's three parties that have to get into this room for this hearing. Understand and take a look at the posting for the 26th. It'll provide some understanding of what has to occur for that hearing and what rights are afforded at that hearing, okay? With that, I won't comment any further on it. We will move over to citizen comment. That's going to be item 4. I will read a short statement that's always conjoined with this item. I will remind you we are going to adhere to past practice of 3 minutes per comment. It looks like we have 12 people signed up. I was told potentially some may want to speak together. That's perfectly fine. Just let me know that that's occurring. So with that, community members and residents of the Germantown School District are invited to share their questions, comments, or concerns with the school board. When speaking, citizens should state their name and address for the record. The presentation time frame shall be determined by the school board president once an indicated number of the people wish to speak is made. Speakers should keep comments to 3 minutes or less and allow others to speak. Wisconsin law authorizes the school board to receive information from members of the public. Where possible, the board may answer factual questions immediately or may provide a written response with information when information is available. If a response would involve discussion of board policy or decisions which might be of interest to citizens not present at the meeting, the board may place the item on a future meeting agenda. Comments that may be injurious to school district personnel or other individuals will not be allowed. So with that, I will read a couple of the names as best I can, and please line up at the microphone in the center here. So Stephanie Racing, followed by Molly Booty.
Is this on?
That's on.
Okay, sounds on.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening. I would like to start this request to ask that all of the public comments tonight are entered into your evidence that you'll be reviewing next week on the 26th, if you can. My name is Stephanie Rising. I'm the parent of a second grader at MacArthur. I live in the Wooded Hills subdivision on Donges Bay Road and Fond du Lac Avenue. My address is on that paper. I would rather not read it aloud if that is okay.
Sure.
So my comments for the record and your consideration during next week's meeting are in regards to Tony Gonzalez, the principal at MacArthur. In the fall of 2023, Mr. Gonzalez was present during the stressful and mediocre response by this district to a shooting on the property at Kennedy Middle School. Dr. Ryder, if you recall, you and I spoke and emailed many times after that incident. During these conversations, I shared with you concerns about the Skyward communication system. And Mr. Ewert, for your benefit, that system is terribly inaccurate for emergency communications with parents during such a threat. It was supposed to be replaced last year, but was not. Dr. Ryder, during our conversations, you shared the camaraderie, grace, and compassion that Mr. Gonzalez exhibited in his support of the students when they were bused from Kennedy to MacArthur. He helped all of the crying and terrified students as they got off of that bus to stay at MacArthur until their parents could pick them up. He gave them a needed sense of safety and security until their parents could arrive. He was there late into the night with yourself and supported you and the students through that terrifying event. I have only ever witnessed Tony Gonzalez to be a stand-up man and heartfelt educator who cares about his school, staff, and students. If this decision will stand, that he won't be coming back to MacArthur, I ask all of you to ensure that the interim principal is immediately trained on proper safety training in order to be ready to respond quickly and compassionately like Tony Gonzalez would do, and as he did. Thank you.
Thank you. In the queue will be Rob.
Molly Bussey, my address is on the paper. The timing and communications surrounding the apparent interest in exiting Mr. Gonzalez are troubling on several levels. While I could speak at length about how much he means to MacArthur and the broader Germantown community, I want to focus instead on the larger issues this situation has exposed about district management, governance, and due process. I've heard multiple accounts of a toxic work environment fostered by district administration. While these are anecdotal, and I don't speak from direct experience, it's alarming to hear reports of harassment that appear to go uninvestigated, or reports of staff members afraid to speak up due to fear of retaliation from the superintendent. This led me to look into the board's anti-harassment policy, section 1662 of the manual, which provides that if a complaint is made against a superintendent or a board member, the investigation is led by the board's legal counsel. This is a clear conflict of interest. The law firm is paid by the district and advises the board, meaning it cannot objectively represent the interests of the employee who complained. This structure allows complaints to be buried and discourages accountability. If there is truly problematic conduct on the part of the superintendent or the board, we need to ensure there is a full investigation with a fair and appropriate resolution. I urge the board to revise the policy to allow for an independent third-party investigation when conflicts of interest arise. This brings me to oversight of the superintendent, which is one of the board's most important roles. Sections 1110 and 1240 of the manual outline general considerations for the board's annual evaluation of the superintendent and assessment of district goals, but they lack detail regarding process, metrics, documentation. What does this process look like in practice? Is it a thoughtful, year-round undertaking with multiple checkpoints, or is it a quick end-of-year formality? What metrics are used, and how do they inform decisions on performance and compensation? These sections of the manual haven't been updated since 2011. Surely, in 14 years, our district's needs and standards have evolved. I stress the importance of this topic because the superintendent's compensation is tied to this evaluation, and that compensation, by available data, is disproportionately high for a district of our size. Given time constraints, I request a written response outlining the board's current evaluation process and any plans for policy review. MacArthur is a school on the rise thanks to Mr. Gonzalez and his strong team. I would ask that the board examine your role as supervisor of the superintendent, along with the superintendent's apparent strong desire to rush the exit of Mr. Gonzalez. It is my strong belief that Germantown needs leaders who are willing to step up and do the right thing. Tonight, I implore you, the school board, to do that in the days and weeks ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Robert Sanchez and then Gina or Doug. Robert Sanchez, followed by, and then it's signed up as Gina or Doug. I'm assuming that's a...
Yeah, my name's Rob Sanchez. I've been a parent at MacArthur for the last 6 years. 6 years ago, we didn't have strong leadership at the school. We had pockets of leadership without any guidance. 5 years ago, we hired Tony. He came on board, and immediately we saw improvement in the school. If you go and look at the school report cards, all available online, you see that MacArthur has made strides over the last 4 years. Every year, our below satisfactory is now down in the single digits for math and reading. This is a substantial leadership position and an integral part of the success of our school, Mr. Gonzalez. If you look at our report card and you look at the makeup of the schools, take a look at all 4 of the elementary schools that we have. If you look at them, ethnically, less than 20, less than 20, less than 20, Asian, Hispanic, African American, every school except for MacArthur. Most of the apartment complexes are in MacArthur's district. There's a 47% transiency rate in apartment complexes. When you look at the economically challenged families, MacArthur has 5 times the number of the next highest school, elementary school in our district. And we have increased our scores and our performance every year under Mr. Gonzalez. Why did that happen? It's because Mr. Gonzalez creates an atmosphere where every one of those transient, multi-ethnic, economically challenged students feels that they belong and that it's a community. He greets them by name. He high-fives them every morning. There are pictures on the walls now of the students and the teachers. The teachers are asked all the time, is this best for the student? And that's what you're removing from the school. Whatever the situation is, it darn better be a very egregious situation because it's not performance related. For you to remove someone so important to the betterment of our students and our families. We voted you guys into office because we expected and we hoped that you had our students' best interest at heart. You've removed him 2 weeks before school when everyone is preparing for these students to come in, and there's a drift now and a void there. So consider what you're doing and make sure you have the best interests of our students at heart.
Thank you. Gina or Doug? Anyone who signed up as Gina or Doug? Followed by Dan Russell. Dan Russell, you'll be next if you want to.
Hi, my name's Gina. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So my name's Gina, address is there. I am speaking from my heart. So, and I'm sorry if I get emotional. So we had toured MacArthur back in 2018. One occasion, just with my husband. there was a disconnect with the students. The students weren't known. There was a disconnect with the teachers. We tried again. We took our daughter. She wasn't really acknowledged by the principal at the time. Again, there was still that disconnect with the students, the teachers. So we decided to keep it an alternative school. And then we heard the new principal came in and, oh, Mr. Gonzalez, he's amazing. So in August, we went and toured and went in, and my son, he's been at a different school for several years, but he was visibly upset. Mr. Gonzalez greeted us and right away addressed my son, acknowledged, I see you're really upset by this. I know it's scary. You're going to be okay. And got him a buddy, toured the school, and just to see the interaction with the teachers, the students, like you were saying, he goes there and high fives everyone. Everyone knows his names, the teachers. It was really neat to see the pictures on the wall. He's created this family environment there that I did not see at all when we toured in 2018. And I guess for me, it's disheartening to see that would be taken away from that school. He has advocated for every child at that school. He's advocated for the teachers, just to see the relationship that he's built with everyone there. So we had planned on going there, and news of this came, which we both are not comfortable going into a situation like that. So I just hope that you think of the students that come first. He is there emotionally for those students. We all know society is hard right now for kids, and he loves all of those children like his own. And I just hope that you guys look at that when you make your decision.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dan Russell. My address is on that form as well. I'm here as a MacArthur parent to express my deep concern and disappointment regarding the handling and the situation of Principal Mr. Gonzalez. The lack of clarity and transparency about Mr. Gonzalez's leave is unacceptable. Mr. Gonzalez, he's a proven leader. He's an effective communicator who is approachable and focused on academic achievement. He's worked tirelessly to build positive relationships and a safe environment for our children. Instead of searching for a new principal, our district should be focused on retaining skilled staff like Mr. Gonzalez, who already embodies the qualities we want in a school year, not just the 4 that were sent out on that survey. What is the district doing to retain and support its current staff? Why is the first response in this situation to consider termination rather than development and retention? Thank you.
Thank you. I have a note here on the next one. Callie and Grace would like to present together.
I'm Callie Russell. My address is on the paper. I'm Grace Cutchell, and my address is on the paper. Good evening, members of the Board of Education. We are here today to discuss how disappointed we are in the decision to fire Mr. Gonzalez. As scholars of MacArthur Elementary, we believe that his presence has turned us into better people. We will each share our opinion about this situation. Hello, Board of Education. I'm here today to tell you how amazing Mr. Gonzalez is. As a former student of MacArthur Elementary, I think about all the positive benefits Mr. G has on the Germantown School District. He teaches us different value words and important life skills every assembly. And not only does he work at MacArthur, he helps educate kids in athletic sports outside of school. What I love about Mr. Gonzalez is that he is kind-hearted, amazing, and super helpful. Mr. Gonzalez also coaches our teachers with a big smile and a warm and welcoming heart. And that's why we are the people we have become today. Mr. Gonzalez really makes our school feel like a family. I cannot say in words how much I appreciate him. Thank you.
As a MacArthur student, I was very disappointed to hear that you were even thinking about firing Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez has made me and many, many others a better person. Mr. Gonzalez isn't only my principal. He is my basketball coach, my best friend's dad, and a great person overall. One of the things that I love about Mr. Gonzalez is how selfless he is. His ability to put others first is outstanding. He never keeps anything to himself and is always putting anyone, even strangers, first. Another thing that I love about him is his desire for others to succeed. He takes care of others and makes sure to help as best as he can. Mr. Gonzalez is one in a million. He is kind, caring, fun, and amazing. I also love how positive he is. His smile lights up every room and every corner. He doesn't let anyone get down on themselves and encourages a positive attitude. Without him, MacArthur wouldn't be the awesome place that it is now. He truly makes MacArthur and the world a better place. I deeply wish Mr. Gonzalez will continue to make MacArthur a better place as our principal.
Thank you for your time today. We deeply appreciate it.
Thank you. James Luban and Lauren Berberin. Sorry, James Luban and Lauren Beverin.
All right. James LeBeau, N104 W14497, Heritage Hills Court. I'm here to express my disappointment in the district administration and staff and this school board on a lack of transparency and communication around the unprecedented timing to dismiss a valued administrator, Tony Gonzalez, as principal of MacArthur Elementary. Let's review a timeline. MacArthur parents were sent a letter from the school board president, Ewert, on Friday, August 8th, regarding the leave of absence Mr. Gonzalez is on, and a notification of an interim principal with a permanent replacement to come later. This letter couldn't have come from a unilateral decision, and a look back at open records shows the board went into closed session on personnel-related matters both on July 28th and Thursday, August 5th, with even more cryptic closed sessions at the end of the July 15th regular board meeting regarding employee reviews and concerns. It can only be logical that the board made this decision not to proceed with Mr. Gonzalez during this August 5th meeting. But when did they place him on leave? Was it a month earlier? Who knows? Maybe the timing is irrelevant in summer months. Ultimately, communication was further delayed by 3 days after the last closed session meeting. Further, as was suggested in some social media posts, some staff allegedly did not find out about the change until they encountered a post on August 13th. As we look forward, as President Ewert said, there's a closed session meeting for an evidentiary hearing. I want to point out Board Policy 167.2, closed session, specifically item B, in the notice that should have been delivered to the person subject of the evidentiary hearing, and quote, shall contain a statement that this person has the right to demand that the evidentiary hearing may be held in open session. This is in regard to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, subsection 1, subsection B. I, for one, would welcome the session in open hearing, or I would welcome the hearing in open session, and I hope you all do too. While circumstances regarding the dismissal of Mr. Gonzalez and his duties have yet to be concluded, it is very disheartening to see Mr. Gonzalez being relieved of his duties as he has helped foster my child's growth in their time at MacArthur. It's not gone unnoticed, both in interactions inside the school and outside and passing in the village, the true passion Mr. Gonzalez has for the students, as he will take time to recognize and encourage them wherever they meet. To the survey sent out regarding the desired attributes we would seek in a new principal, it was extremely hard to narrow in on 4 of the 8, as I feel you already have that in an individual that meets all those 8 attributes. With the limited information available to the public at this time, I would urge the board to vote against the dismissal of Mr. Gonzalez at the appropriate time. I further challenge this board to back these frontline building leading administrators as they balance student development and staff support with your efforts focused on giving them the tools they need through further policy and contract refinements in those areas. Thank you.
James, just a clarification point on the notice that's posted. That information is in there that it's subject to his request for open session.
It was not there earlier.
Okay, it's in there via state statute, yeah.
I'm reiterating for everybody else.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Lauren Beverung. My address is on the sheet. I want to start by thanking Mr. Ewart for addressing the issue that he recognizes that most of us are here for. I appreciate that a lot, and I'd like to read a prepared statement. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. I am here as a MAC parent, and I want to first acknowledge how challenging this time has been for our community. I know there's frustration and concern regarding the situation with Mr. Gonzalez, and I want to voice that on behalf of the many parents here with me and those who may be watching and those who are not watching. I don't have all the details about why Mr. Gonzalez is on leave, and I want to be careful not to speculate. What I do know is that this process has raised serious questions for parents. For example, the district policy clearly states that the school board has the final decision in personnel matters. Yet we see interviews and discussions happening even before an official decision has been made. This raises concerns about whether the process is being handled fairly, transparently, and in line with the policies we trust to guide our schools. Our community deserves to know that any employee is receiving a fair hearing and that decisions are not predetermined before all of the facts are reviewed. Parents want assurance that fairness, transparency, and proper procedures are being followed, not only for the individual involved, but for the integrity of our school system as a whole. I'm speaking tonight because we care deeply about our teachers and staff and the students who depend on them. We hope the board will provide clarity on this process and ensure that it aligns with policy and our shared values of fairness and accountability. Thank you for listening, and thank you to everyone for working to keep our schools a safe and supportive place for our children.
Thank you. We have Christina, Emily, and Allie are the last three, but not the least three.
My name is Emily Asmondy. I'm the mother of 2 previous MacArthur scholars and 1 future scholar. Before Mr. Gonzalez, my kids were afraid to go to school. They were bullied with no consequence, and it was a daily struggle to get them to go to school. The previous principal treated his position as a position of not only authority but also of power. Mr. Gonzalez started, then there was a tangible difference in the atmosphere at MacArthur, noticed by staff, scholars, and parents. Mr. Gonzalez created meaningful relationships built on trust with each and every scholar, which has allowed them to be themselves, not with fear. He prioritizes our children's safety and mental health, which as a parent I greatly appreciate. Losing Mr. Gonzalez would not only be a loss to the students that he has taught, but to the district as a whole. He has had a huge part in building our strong, confident, and resilient children, going into KMS and out into the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christina Downs, W148N10201, Winsong Circle East. I have 2 children at MacArthur currently going into 2nd grade and then going into 5th grade. And this is why it's compelling for me to express my concern. My husband and I have witnessed the difference in how the school was run before Mr. Gonzalez's leadership, and we strongly believe it to be a serious mistake to remove him. He connects with students in a calm, nurturing way during a crucial stage in their growth and development, while also fostering a fun, inclusive, and safe learning environment for everyone. Mr. Gonzalez not only makes school enjoyable for the children, but also creates a welcoming atmosphere for us as parents. As a father of 3 children close in age to his students, he brings relatability, empathy, and genuine kindness to everyone he interacts with. We've also had the chance to interact with Mr. Gonzalez both inside and outside of school events, and it is our opinion he is an excellent representative of MacArthur Elementary and a positive example of what educational leadership should look like in the Germantown community. We sincerely urge you, me and my husband, to reconsider any decision to remove Mr. Gonzalez as principal. For our children who have really known no other leader at MacArthur, his presence has been a constant source of stability and support. His removal would be deeply unsettling and, in our view, detrimental to their continued growth.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Allie Nolan, and I am a proud mom of 2 MacArthur students. My youngest is going into kindergarten this year, and it will be her first experience at MacArthur as she attended 4K outside of the district. And her older sister is going into 3rd grade, Nora. And I am really here on behalf of them, for the students, for the staff, to speak in support of Mr. Gonzalez. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time reiterating some of the other concerns we heard tonight because I wholeheartedly agree with everything that has been spoken here tonight, so I'm just going to speak from my heart. Besides the transparency, the lack of communication, the concern of, as we've talked about, the process in which a decision has not yet been made, we're told, but there's been a lot of signs that point to that the district very much thinks this is a done deal. What I would like to speak to a little bit about is what I believe Mr. Gonzalez represents and about how the students, kind of echoing what the girls had set up here. And I just want to say, one, I love that they called themselves Scholar because it's one of my favorite things whenever I'm reading the communication from Mr. Gonzalez that our students at MacArthur are referenced to as scholars. The potential they have, the learning that is done, the shaping of who they are as people and what they're going to do beyond the walls of MacArthur. And with that, I would just like to say that every interaction that I've had in school and out of school with Mr. Gonzalez and the staff in the school has been wonderful. And when you have a student come home, or in this case I should say scholar, and come and tell you more than what they just learned about, but what it means when they learn about character traits and can't wait to tell me about the assemblies, which the girls also spoke about before, that says something about the leadership in your school. And when the staff are echoing that in their newsletters that they send home and the communication to parents, that says something about the leadership they have and just how engaged they are with students. And so I just want to read a few of the character traits that were discussed this year that not only were further written about in Mr. Gonzalez's communication to parents, which I read every month, but also that my daughter gets to come home and tell me about. And these are just a few of them. Kindness, respect, responsibility, gratitude, empathy, perseverance, cooperation, courage, and creativity. What is being done in the walls under Mr. Gonzalez's leadership in the walls of MacArthur is more than just education. Yes, education. They need it, but it is also shaping their lives outside the school and for them to be good human beings in this world that, let's be honest, is very difficult right now. And so I just really ask the administration and the board to listen to the parents here in the community for the concern we have of how this situation is being handled, but also the great loss if Mr. Gonzalez does not come back as principal. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate everyone that came, shared their thoughts, concerns. Obviously, the board heard them. We've read many emails over the last couple of weeks. We can't address each one of those here, but we will keep them in our thoughts as we move forward. With that, I do have to move on to the rest of the agenda, which does not involve any further discussion on this matter. Just letting you know that up front. And with that, we'll move on with consent agenda item 5, Consent agenda. A, approval of July 15th, 2025 meeting minutes, open session only, of closed session. B, approval of July 15th, 2025 meeting minutes. Approval of July 28th, 2025 meeting minutes, open session only, of closed session. D, approval of August 5th, 2025 meeting minutes, open session only, of closed session. E, approval of teacher contracts. F, approval of teacher resignations. And G, approval of donations.
Motion to approve consent agenda items A through G.
Mr. Barney with the motion, Ms. Higginbotham with the second. Any discussion?
Yeah, can I hear a highlight of donations, please?
For sure, Mr. Barney. Thank you to Big Sky Country Bar and Grill, $1,000 donation to Germantown Varsity Dance Team. Cheville Smith, $500 to Germantown Varsity Dance Team. Anonymous donor, $250 to Germantown Girls Swim and Dive. American Paper and Packaging, $1,000 to the soccer program. Hattrick Enterprises, $1,500 to GHS Boys Soccer. The Controlology Center, $250 to Boys Soccer. Jacob Daub Orthodontics, $250 to GHS Boys Soccer. Soccer World of Brookfield, $300 to GHS Boys Soccer. Thank you to the Germantown Athletic Booster Club for one upright freezer, one fridge freezer combo, and a popcorn machine for our concession stands. Gell Food and Beverage, $800 to the Germantown High School Boys Football, and thank you to the Brady Corporation for $500 towards our GHS choir.
Thank you for that summary. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, consent agenda passes. Item 6, Ad Hoc Transportation Committee. Mr. Pollack.
Thank you. Earlier this month, the Ad Hoc Transportation Committee met to discuss and review the update with regards to the ongoing contract negotiations at the time with Go Right Way. Ultimately, there was a good amount of discussion and questions, and there were some representatives from Go Right Way in attendance that helped clarify a few points for us. Ultimately, we settled on a little bit of a compromise as far as bringing forward with a positive recommendation from the Ad Hoc Transportation Committee, an approval, or to approve, I should say, the 2025-2030 transportation contract with Go Right Way to include a parental and staff survey to be conducted and the results provided to the board for a decision to be made no later than January 31st, 2026 regarding start and end times for the elementary schools.
That comes forward with a positive recommendation, does not require a second. Any discussion?
Just to add a little bit more on that, the reason why the survey was added because the committee felt that any sort of substantive change for this fall, we were too close to the start date. So Go Right Way confirmed with us that within the contract, and we all agreed that within the contract, there is that flexibility where if we do want to change the start times and times for all of the elementary schools, that's built in that flexibility, so that if we do make a change going forward within the contract life, that obviously there's financial changes, there's some other things, but the contract actually allows us to go ahead and do that.
Thank you. Any further discussion? I'll just echo what Mr. Pollack said. And I wish some of these parents would have stayed in here because this conversation largely pertains to them. MAC is one of our schools that has an offset start time, release time, and that was made before my time on the board. And we were really looking at this contract negotiation is how can we get that back? We have those numbers in, they're involved in this packet. As you can see, I think it's a right consideration for this board to consider and to continue with. But to Mr. Pollack's point, having these numbers in August, it's hard to then ask the parents that have already made and the staff members that have already made family arrangements for child care, for their work arrangements. If we were to bring them back to a normal or standard start time with some of the rest of our schools more in alignment, it would be hard to have them make those changes in their life now. So what we're going to do is survey that throughout this year, and the goal is, I believe, January, February at the latest, have a decision made so families and staff can make the decisions of what to do for childcare that following year. Staff to consider, what does that mean for my life? And they need to know that before April, when some of our renewal notices go out. If I can make eye contact, that's April for staff?
I'm sorry? Yeah.
Contract-wise?
Correct.
So they're going to have to consider whether they would like to sign on to some of that. And to have them do that, ask for that change now, I don't think is appropriate. It's unfortunate, but that's just how long the process took. So we will reconsider this throughout the fall here and going into next year, and have that answer well before school's out this year for families and staff. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. I believe that is it for transportation. Sorry, thank you, Mr. Pollock. Item 7, buildings and grounds. Also, Mr. Pollock.
Thank you. A couple of updates. We've had actually a couple of meetings since the last time the board got together. The first one being on August 5th. Mr. Lord provided us a work order completion report from July 8th through July 30th. So this is part of our more condensed, more focused review of those work orders. 26 were completed, 0 were completed after 45 days. All of them were considered medium. Obviously, there's a lot of additional work, summer work that has been going on and still in process as we get ready for students to return in a couple weeks. Mr. Lord also provided the final update for us with regards to the couple of remaining tours that we had both at Kennedy Middle School and Germantown High School, focused on the priority level 1 crosswalk list. The areas that were highlighted, not only were those that are being considered for possible updates and future work, but also those that have more recently been updated or improved upon and operating as intended. Once again, I thanked everybody at that time for participating. I take this moment too to once again thank the committee, Village Trustee Borst, other folks who attended, the public who attended. As Dr. Reuter pointed out earlier tonight, some of those things that we saw in person are actually going to be in front of us here in just a few minutes. In addition, Mr. Lord provided us an update with regards to KMS and the needs for repair and replacement for the front and back of campus, specifically some sidewalks, curb lines, aprons, et cetera, that pose some safety concerns and had failed to direct water as initially designed. So that we did forward that item to the Finance Committee. Also on the 5th, we did begin the discussion of the Dream Field dugout replacements. However, we had determined that there was some missing information that we were interested in learning more about. So that item was tabled on the 5th, which leads us to earlier this evening, where we finished that unfinished business of the Dream Field dugout replacements, finalized our discussion. There's going to be a takeaway with regards to just some clarification as far as what the approach is for the replacements. But we did, at the committee level, approve the work and sent it off to the Finance Committee. At this time, there's no other action needed or recommendations from the Buildings and Grounds Committee for this evening.
Thank you. Item 8, Teaching and Learning Committee, Ms. Higginbotham.
The Teaching and Learning Committee met on August 5th. The committee met and we were led in a discussion by Jake Miziak to move 2 departments forward in the curriculum review process, which had been previously approved by the board. Through the work done by the teachers on the professional development days, the departments in both ELA and math both self-identified possible gaps in the prioritized standards for the district. In math, they discovered some scope and sequence pieces in algebra, but they will be doing a full review of the 9 through 12. Also in ELA, the department highlighted the 2 electives offered to 11 and 12 grades in writing composition and reading, mainly due to imbalance in meeting prioritized standards. So they're looking to implement an English 11 and offer electives to the 12th grade, allowing students to be equally exposed to both reading and writing junior year and then more specialized in their senior year. So with a positive recommendation from the Teaching and Learning Committee to approve the updated curriculum review timeline.
Comes
Need a
forward with a
motion.
positive recommendation, does not require a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. I believe that caps teaching and learning. 9, Personnel Committee. Mr. Brown.
Personnel Committee met on August 5th, 2025. Director of Human Resources, Martine Castro, provided an update on teacher resignations, which were brought before the board in the consent agenda earlier this evening. Dr. Castro then provided an update on teacher contracts. At the time, there were no new teacher contracts. However, I believe we do have one additional one tonight that will be coming forward in new business. Martine then gave us some insights to some creative and proactive strategies he has implemented to search for good fit candidates, such as currently reaching out to technical colleges to explore experience-based licensure for our FACE education position. FACE, Family and Consumer Education position. Besides WeCan, Dr. Castro has also leveraged other websites such as Handshake and Indeed, and is evaluating the free versus paid subscription versions to see if there's any additional alpha those could provide. The committee and other directors in attendance received and went through the staffing update. Dr. Castro shared the resignation data. In his updates, reasons for leavings were to include 1 relocation, 2 career advancements, and 1 teacher leaving education. Martin then led a discussion on a new automated onboarding system which will be more efficient and streamlined for both the candidate and the district. The onboarding process will be structured in 3 phases: completion of pre-employment paperwork, orientation, and extended support, then detailed an updated offboarding process which will include standardized exit interviews. As chair of this personnel committee and on behalf of the committee and I believe the full board, I'd like to thank for the immediate impact and diving right into the workflow and beginning to develop and implement new processes. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
There were no action items.
Okay, thank you. Item 10, Policy Committee. Mr. Barney.
Yeah, thank you. Policy Committee met on August 11th to review the latest recommendations from Neola and a couple policies brought forward by the administration. The first item is Board Item 10B, approval of new Policy 2524 audio-visual materials. The intent of this policy is to ensure that movies in the classroom align with curriculum objectives, support educational goals, and respect instructional time. Administrative guidelines are included in the background, which includes a parent consent and/or notification depending on the grade and/or rating of the movie. So we have a motion with a positive recommendation from the Policy Committee to approve new policy 2524 use of audiovisual materials.
Thank you. That comes forward with a positive recommendation, does not require a second. Any discussion?
I have one maybe housekeeping point.
Absolutely.
In the discussion for approval process, we have title, rating, and duration of the film, and that falls under administrative guidelines. Maybe it just wasn't updated by the time we put this in there, but we are also looking for the release date.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'll be changed.
Okay.
Guidelines can be changed at any time.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it was release date or
Version.
Version.
Yep.
Because there's so many. So that will be corrected?
Yep.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes.
All right, the next item is full board item 10C, approval of policy 0166 agenda. This is being brought forward so we have alignment between the policy and the current board agenda format. I bring forward a motion with a positive recommendation from the Policy Committee to approve the updates to policy 0166 agenda.
Comes forward with a positive recommendation, does not require a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes.
All right, the next item is full board agenda 10D, updates and modifications to district policies 0100 through 9800.01. This was the bulk of our meeting where we reviewed 26 policies, 24 of them being revisions, 1 policy that's rescinded and 1 that was replaced. I'll give you a couple highlights. Bylaw 0144.5 is about board member behavior. That has some language being added regarding conflict of interest, avoiding conduct that compromises the reputation of the district, and prohibiting activity that compromises the legal position of the district. Policy 5122 is regarding our entrance age. It's updated to reflect the current state law, which recognizes the parental right to opt out of immunization. Policy 5505 is our academic honesty policy. This is being updated, as it probably will every time we meet, to try and keep up with the ever-changing world of artificial intelligence. Policy 5530, use of or possession of intoxicants, drugs, or paraphernalia, is updated to include additional prohibited items and look-alike substances. That's another one that we seem to see quite often. Policy 8120 is updated, that is our volunteers policy. It's being updated to include language regarding the requirements for transporting students in a private vehicle for school-sponsored activities or trips. Policy 8420, school safety, is being updated to reflect the state law when it comes to crime reporting requirements. And the last one I'll highlight, Policy 9150, is our policy on use of cameras or other recording devices in locker rooms. This is being updated to include language on media presence in locker rooms and the prohibition of recording devices. Given that background, I'll bring forward a motion with a positive recommendation from the Policy Committee to approve the updates, or additions, updates, and modifications to district policies 0100 through 9800.01.
Thank you. That comes forward as a positive recommendation. Does not require a second. Any discussion? Mr. Lowe.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Policy Committee for being open to board members' input from those that are not on the policy. So I certainly added a few minutes to an already grueling meeting. I can't remember how long it was, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. Sorry, I didn't.
93 minutes.
93 minutes, okay. But anyway, I'd like to thank Policy Committee for being open to discussion from all board members. And a couple of my concerns were addressed, and I checked the material, and they are in there this evening. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Yeah, glad to have your perspective.
Yep, thank you.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes.
That is all that Policy Committee is bringing forward from committee. There are a few additional policies that we discussed that I will bring up during new business.
Okay, with that, item 11, Finance Committee, Mr. Loth.
Yes, the Finance Committee met earlier this evening at 6:30 p.m. here in the PAC. Full board item 11A, August vouchers will be approved next month. We did not approve them this evening like we normally would have. Full board item 11B, Kennedy Middle School concrete work. I really appreciate that this concrete work has come forward. The patching on those sidewalks was done a few years ago, and it really looks lousy. You know, it's not up to the Germantown School District standards, in my opinion. I guess it worked for what it was supposed to do for the last few years, but it's time that it's been replaced. So, motion to move forward with a positive recommendation to the full Board of Education to approve the concrete work at Kennedy Middle School using DeAngelis Construction LLC in the amount not to exceed $41,277.50 funded out of the Fund 41 Capital Improvements budget.
Comes forward with a positive recommendation, does not require a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes.
Yeah, next item is full board item 11C, Dreamfield Dugouts Replacement. I'd like to thank the building committee for being open to looking into a little further into the construction of those dugouts. I was recommending a look at poured concrete walls with rebar versus CMU construction, concrete modular unit So in other words, concrete block construction. Motion to move forward with a positive recommendation to the full board to approve the Dreamfield dugouts replacement project using J.P. Cullen with the time and material amount not to exceed $166,241 funded out of the Fund 41 capital projects budget.
Comes forward with a positive recommendation, does not require a second. Any discussion, sorry. Obviously, I have one. Just a quick question, and maybe I just missed it, or I'm skipping a beat,
Yes.
remembering it. Both of these projects were on the capital improvement?
Correct.
So I do want to kind of take recognition of that for a moment. Buildings and grounds and finance working together to budget properly for these projects is vital to the school's financial viability. And this is an example of two projects that were budgeted out, and the process is here to move forward, which makes it an easy approval on our end, I believe. So if no further discussion, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes.
And we adjourned at 6:37 PM.
Thank you for that break before the full board meeting.
You're welcome.
Item 12, new business. A, discussion and action to approve overnight travel training request, GHS Palms. Mr. Reuter, Dr. Reuter.
Thank you, Mr. Ewert. The GHS War Chicks have 29 students and 2 advisors seeking your approval tonight for overnight travel to Disney in Florida from February 11th through the 16th of 2026 for competition, and that would be a fundraising event, and no district funds would be utilized for that. So they're seeking your approval for overnight travel for those 6 days.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the overnight travel request for Germantown High School War Chicks.
Second.
Mr. Pollak with the motion, Mr. Brown with the second. Any discussion?
Just, once again, in the interest of transparency, one of my daughters is on the War Chicks, but it has mentioned that no district funds will be used for this. I will be participating in tonight's vote.
Thank you. Just on some clarification of that, there are several board members that have children in the schools, and when a matter comes forward that may impact their student, they do usually recuse themselves. In this one, there's no financial commitment, and I appreciate your transparency on that, Mr. Pollak. With that, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. New business B, discussion and action to approve additional fall coaching contract.
Yeah, so tonight we're just bringing forth one additional fall coaching contract for boys volleyball, an assistant coach. We did have one that needed to step away, so we were quickly able to fill that with a gentleman, Chase Anderson, which he's bringing collegiate experience, which is always nice to be able to provide that experience to our players. So tonight we're just asking for that approval for that one additional coach.
Fantastic. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the fall coaching contract for Chase Anderson.
Second.
Mr. Voyer with the motion, Mr. Brown with the second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. New business, C, discussion and action to approve policy 2523, supplemental instructional materials. Mr. Barney.
Yeah, thank you. There was discussion on this item at the committee level, but no action taken by the committee. On the background, you'll see that we're looking to add classroom libraries as one of the many items that could be considered a supplementary instructional material. So with that, I will make a motion to approve the updates to policy 2523, supplementary instructional materials.
Mr. Barney with the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Pollak with the second. Any discussion?
Yes. This change is paired with the next board item where we will define what the classroom library is as well as the library media center, just for additional clarity.
Okay, thank you. I will say this discussion came up. It got rather involved at the policy committee meetings. I appreciate everyone tabling it for here. Not tabling it for here, but willing to bring it here for new business after administration was able to work through some of the language to assist us with that. So With that, and no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. D, discussion and action to approve policy 100 definitions. Mr. Barney.
Yeah, the definition changes to the policy include classroom libraries and library media center. They're being added to distinguish the difference between the two areas and their instructional purposes. I move approval of the updates to policy 0100 definitions.
Mr. Barney with the motion. Mr. Voyer now with the second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. E, discussion and action to approve policy 9150, school visitors.
Yeah, thank you. This is something that I brought forward at the committee level, but no formal action was taken. Based on discussions at the meeting, I drafted what you see in the background. These changes do not limit visits by board members to the school, but do set expectations that the district administrator will be notified prior to that visit. As the CEO of the district administrator should be aware of why you may be going there and when you're going, just in case maybe they also share that same concern that prompted that visit, and it may give them an opportunity to join you if available. So I move approval of updates to policy 9150, school visitors.
Thank you. And that's a motion.
Second.
Mr. Barney with the motion. We'll give it to Mr. Pollack on the second. Any discussion? This came about as the community, and I think many of the board members here want to be in the schools, but we want to be there with transparency. I think most people know, or if you don't, myself and the superintendent meet every Monday for roughly an hour for a meeting, just to keep in touch base with community concerns, building concerns. And we're going to take a roadshow with that this year and go out of the administrative office, and our meetings will be held at the various schools as we conduct those. We'll probably invite the principals in and hopefully have some good dialogue and conversation and learn a little bit more about the schools along the way. So we appreciate that, and I think this plays in very well with this policy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. I will hear one more motion, item 13, adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Barney with the adjournment, Mr. Pollack with the second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. We are adjourned at 8:13 p.m. Thank you for coming. Drive home safe.